之洋，美丽之岛。海岸是陆地与海洋的交界，也是充满勇气的人们逐梦之旅的端点。齐柏林在25年的空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许多美不胜收的自然景观。但伴随着美丽而来的，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕印记。海岸每一分每一秒都在面临挑战。看见海岸，看见家园的轮廓，这是我们的家。婆娑之洋，美丽之岛。海岸是陆地与海洋的交界，也是充满勇气的人们逐梦之旅的端点。齐柏林在25年的空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许多美不胜收的自然景观。但伴随着美丽而来的，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕印记。海岸每一分每一秒都在面临挑战。看见海岸，看见家园的轮廓。
Hello, distinguished guests. The panel will open in 5 minutes. So yeah, let me wait for a while and waiting for our panelists to come in here. And thank you for everybody to presenting here. Like we are really happy to have so many people to join us with the topic of ocean and climate. And I think the discussion will be very inspiring. And so yeah, let's just wait for a while. Thank you.
齐柏林在25年的空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许多美不胜收的自然景观。但伴随着美丽而来的，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕印记。海岸每一分每一秒都在面临挑战。看见海岸，看见家园的轮廓，这是我们的家。婆娑之洋，美丽之岛。海岸是陆地与海洋的交界，也是充满勇气的人们逐梦之旅的端点。齐柏林在25年的空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许多美不胜收的自然景观。但伴随着美丽而来的，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕印记。海岸每一分每一秒都在面临挑战。看见海岸，看见家园的轮廓，这是我们的家。婆娑之洋，美丽之岛。海岸是陆地与海洋的交界，也是充满勇气的人们逐梦之旅的端点。齐柏林在25年的空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许 许多美不胜收的自然景观，但伴随着美丽而来的，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕印记。海岸每一分每一秒都在面临挑战。看见海岸，看见家园的轮廓，这是我们的家。婆娑之洋，美丽之岛。海岸是陆地与海洋的交界，也是充满勇气的人们逐梦之旅的端点。齐柏林在25年的空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许多美不胜收的自然景观，但伴随着美丽而来的，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕印记。海岸每一分每一秒都在面临挑战。看见海岸，看见家园的轮廓，这是我们的家。婆娑之洋，美丽之岛。海岸是陆地与海洋的交界，也是充满勇气的人们逐梦之旅的端点。齐柏林在25年的空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许多美不胜收的自然景观，但伴随着美丽而来的，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕印记。海岸每一分每一秒都在面临挑战。看见海岸，看见家园的轮廓，这是我们的家。婆娑之洋，美丽之岛。海岸是陆地与海洋的交界，也是充满勇气的人们逐梦之旅的端点。空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许多美不胜收的自然景观。
Okay, our session will be going to begin in seconds. So let's wait for another while, guys.
Em alguns momentos a sessão vai iniciar. Por favor, continue com a gente. E é só uma leve tradução para quem não entendeu.
看见海岸，看见家园的轮廓，这是我们的家。婆娑之洋。
我们就拿一支，你就拿对，这样。
他刚叫我用那一支，那你是要用哪一支？
齐柏林在25年的空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许多美不胜收的自然景观，但伴随着美丽而来的，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕印记。 缩之洋，美丽之岛。海岸是陆地与海洋的交界，也是充满勇气的人们逐梦之旅的端点。齐柏林在25年的空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许多美不胜收的自然景观。但伴随着美丽而来的，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕印记。
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our staff pavilion. And welcome to our panel to discuss a topic about climate and ocean. And the topic of this panel will be reimagining blue carbon future, restoration, innovation, and regional partnership. And we are honored to have honored to invite a group of key speaker and 3 panelists from diverse background, from government officials, from the academic, NGOs, and also youth advocacy. And today our topic is because as we all know that ocean has covered like 70% of the earth, but we know little about it. But in our strategy toward like low carbon emission future, we need to cooperate with ocean. And so as a result, that the discussion focused on ocean and spatial management is quite important. So that's why bring us here. Like we are discussing the important and critical issue on it. So. So we are going to invite our keynote speaker, who is Professor Xiaoyun Lu. Xiaoyun Lu is hold a Doctor of Design in Landscape Architecture from Harvard University, and her expertise span from spatial planning, environmental planning, GIS, and marine and coastal management. And her research covers landscape and climate change modeling. And in public service, Dr. Lu also played a major role in ocean conservation governance, and also in territorial planning, underwater cultural heritage, water resource policy, and open government data. And I think she will bring a very inspiring viewpoint about this topic. So let's welcome Dr. Lu.
Hi, everyone. It's really great to see lots of you in the blue carbon issue and in the blue carbon space here. And I think you all here, you saw lots of blue carbon ecosystems items like blue carbon pillow, blue carbon umbrella, blue carbon lots of stuff. I think the main message we want to bring up here is blue carbon ecosystem is one of the thing we need to care about, we need to appreciate it, and we need to love it. So that's why we have all this stuff here, and thank you. And I hope at the end of this panel, you can bring something back home with you. So basically, that's the major topic. I think the people in this room all can be recognized that nature-based solution is one of the key issues in the COP30. And also blue carbon is kind of the things that we need to think about. So blue carbon ecosystem, we want to focus on the ecosystem, not only the blue carbon, but we care about the ecosystems. Because living a healthy ecosystem can bring biodiversity, can bring the rich fish resources, and also can connect the communities to people and to different society. So that's why we think we are not only care about the blue carbon, we care about the blue carbon ecosystems. I think in Taiwan, we have lots of rich species for blue carbon. I think like here, we have the mangrove, we have the seagrass bed, and also the salt marsh. And so today, I will be a little bit focused on the coastal blue carbon because lots of people talking about the blue carbon, including the big sea, the deep sea. But here, we will focus on the coastal blue carbon issue, so mainly the mangroves and the seagrass. So I think lots of us face the same challenges, especially for tropical, subtropical countries. We lost the blue carbon ecosystem because of the coastal development, because of the pollution, because of the people usage, and also because we lack of the funding to put in the system. So that's why we think we share the same challenges. So why not we come here to make up the platform to let people know what we are doing in Taiwan, and probably from here we can make lots of friends so we can solve these problems together. So in Taiwan, from OCA, actually I work in OCA, which is Ocean Conservation Administration now. And for the blue carbon ecosystem, we have the 6 action strategies. So the 6 strategies from scientific assessment, from platform to build up, from information sharing, from technology, from methodologies. So I think all of us have the same issue, have the same challenges, and we can have the same kind of strategies to deal with this problem. So I will just quick go through it. Even though in Taiwan we are not, we don't have a lot of the territorial area, but we kind of basically from the scientific research. So right now we spend 2 to 3 years to calculate the blue carbon numbers. So right now we do have the total from 2024 data. We have 47 10,000 tons for the blue carbon. And because we have this data, then we can have the next step, how to restore it and where is the weak point for this blue carbon ecosystem. So after we have the survey, the next step is we choose the location where to get the restoration. So the key point for us is we need to put the right species on the right place. Because for the mangrove as well, for the seagrass as well, we cannot plant seagrass from plant A and move that to plant B. Because the main concept of our job is to make the rich biodiversity. So keep the really biodiversity is the key point for us. So we're trying to find the right species in the right place and use the right technology to make the restoration. And also because this work needs lots of people to work together, so we have the network platform. So as OCA from government, we kind of doing the policy and we have the collaboration, and also we have the public-private relationship. And this year, actually, we just published 2 very important documents. One we call this the Blue Carbon Ecosystem Restoration Action Plan. And the other one is the guidelines. So with the guidelines, so people can know where to restore the seagrass, where to restore the mangrove in the right place. And also for the local government, they play another role. For the local government, they identify where is the suitable place for restoration. And also, they oversee the implementation process. And also, we do have the local organizations for NGOs to do the implementation. And we have the business cooperation to join this process, to have the funding, have the resources, have the manpower to put it in the platform. And also, we have the experts and the scholars to share us the right technology and the real knowledge to see what's the right for the ecosystem. So you can see the long-term maintenance needed the community to get involvement. So once the community get involvement, they will have the commitment. So they will have the commitment to maintain, to observe, and also to keep this as a resilience system. So this year in Taiwan, we just approved 2 methodologies. One is the mangrove afforestation, and the other one is the seagrass restoration. So based on these 2 methodologies, now we have the tour kind of inspire people and the business to join this process with us. And the other one is because the tool is very powerful. So as a government, we need to be very careful for these methodologies to send out the right message of it. And the other one is, right now we do have, because of the methodology, we need to find out the pilot site, pilot cases and the pilot studies. So we have lots of pilot studies, and one of them is the fishing pond. So the fishermen, we're using the abandoned fish pond. So the fishermen told us that they want to restore the seagrass in his fish pond. And we also work with the scholars, so to make sure the water quality improved because of the seagrass bed, and then his or her productive of the fishing pond getting higher and higher. So we think that is still ongoing project, and we think this project will get a very good outcome, and we will share this outcome with the public in the end of this year. And we still have lots of challenges in front of us, especially for seagrass, because from the top, it's very hard to get correct measurement for the seagrass. So right now, because the wind, because the tidal and the current, so right now we combine with the aerial photo and also the on-site observation to make sure that the right spaces and the right area of the calculation. And also, because we need to work on the public and the private collaboration. So right now, for the ocean conservation ESG project, we do have 15 action plans. And inside the 15 action plans, support blue carbon ecosystem is one of it. So during this ocean conservation ESG partnership platform, we actually doing this kind of process. Community and NGOs can bring up the proposal, say what kind of, where is the location they want to put the seagrass or the mangrove. And for the business side, they will see how much money and what's the manpower, what's the technology they can get involved. So for our role, we play as the matchmakers to make sure they have very good connection and make sure they plant the right species on the right place. So I think all of the things we do is for people. So we involve lots of education programs, so including the blue carbon conservation seminars, workshop, and the restoration activities. And also we train teachers to work together for this project. And I want to show a 3 minutes video, and that's a very, I'm sorry, that's in Chinese, but the text will be in English. And that's a very interesting story from the local community and the local school and with their teachers. During our pilot study, we found a very special seagrass species. And because of the seagrass species, kids and the teachers, they work by themselves to begin the documentation, begin the monitoring, and write down their own stories and the research project. And actually you can see the seagrass is here. And they make their own models. So we find out this seagrass species on the river mouth, and it's very tough because this group of people, they protect this river for a long time. So the first time they find out, oh, they have the seagrass grow up here, so they found out in their protection of the river work successful. So that's why they kind of work with students, and students using their vacation time to doing the survey and map the location, and also doing some proposal project. And because this species is very tiny, so they don't know this species for a long time. So kids, the first time they found out this species, they are very touched.
看见海岸，看见家人的
较欢迎，较大面积的八个是野草。啊，所以要让咱的囡仔会甲讲第一时间。
So that right now they get these classes involved in their education kind of the system, and all this created by kids. So I think they are even better than college students. So they they make up several proposals and send out to local government and also to us.
齐柏林在25年的空拍生涯中，曾经感叹，有许多美不胜收的自然景观，
也是稳定气候、净化水质的角色。我们利用亲身看吧。
伴随着美丽而来，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕累积。
我最怕人们踩到我。
我们可以跟专业海保署、海事工厂、学界
每一分
来合作。
都在面临挑战。
公司行业，然后呢，学界跟社区、
看见海岸，
三个
看见家园的
共同来守护这个南台江内海最核心、最美丽的这样的生态跟它的文化。
今天感想非常的感动，因为真的看到是一群在地的小孩，就等于是正关心自己的家乡。然后从原本可能不认识海草，不知道有海草这样子的东西的存在，到最后可以产出行动。
Right now they have the comic books.
其实是一个真的非常感动的
也是充满勇气的
在地开始保养，那么生态它就像河道一样，会不断的从以你的社区为中心点，不断的把这个保育的改变，不断的随着让海的对外扩展，最后扩展到其他的国家。
伴随着美丽而来的，往往都是惨不忍睹的伤痕累积。
And just last week, these kids have the video conference with the students in Japan.
每一分每一秒都在面临挑战。看见海岸，看见家园的轮廓，这是我们的家。
So last week, they have the video conference, and the high school students in Japan, they also restoration for the seagrass bed because the 2011, because the earthquake, the tsunami, they lost lots of the seagrass place. So right now they're doing the restoration. So these two young generations, they separate by language and by the location, but they connect because of the seagrass species. So I think the last message we want to bring out is for the future of blue carbon ecosystem is the responsibility for all of us. So it's not only one person or one group of people can finish it. We need lots of people to work together. And also restoration and protect can unlock the climate resilience. Not only the natural system, but also the people, the community. And also, we want to use this platform to make all the friends together and let's work with the blue carbon ecosystem together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lu, for your thoughtful and inspiring sharing about how Taiwan should collaborate among government and academic field, and also local community to work together to know more about ocean, know more about its ecosystem in it, and also to educate our next generation to know more and get similar or get closer to the ocean that is related to our planet. And next one, I want to introduce Lisa Stindler-Murray, the second panelist. And Lisa is the Director of Natural Climate Solution and Blue Carbon at RARE. And let me briefly introduce RARE. RARE is a global conservation organization known for community-based and environmental solution. And Lisa also is also helping to build RARE's emerging blue carbon portfolio, and also she serves as a very active member in boosting community-based and natural-based solution in blue carbon policy and also the ocean policy. And so let's welcome Lisa.
Thank you very much for having me. And I think I have a couple slides here, if it works. Thanks. But maybe first, while we're putting the slides up, thank you. Maybe we'll go backwards one moment. Perfect. Well, thank you again for having me. I'm really excited to be here and to follow the previous keynote speaker, which is really wonderful to see all of the progress around blue carbon ecosystems. So briefly introducing RARE. We're as we just heard, we're a global conservation organization that's rooted in behavior science and community engagement. We're active across a number of geographies, and primarily rooted in working with coastal ecosystems and coastal communities and their small-scale fishers. I sit on our innovative finance team that is looking to build out our blue carbon portfolio. And so I won't need to spend very much time here, because we just heard a lot about what blue carbon ecosystems that we're all referring to. But in terms of mangroves, seagrasses, and salt marshes, each of these ecosystems are really critical for carbon, but of course much more than just carbon sequestration. The co-benefits are well beyond just the one climate mitigation. One thing that I'll mention too, and I think that in terms of terminology, when we're talking about blue carbon ecosystems and blue carbon engagement, much of those same activities are around nature-based solutions. And so coastal nature-based solutions are also blue carbon actions. And so when we hear about nature-based solutions here, a lot of those same actions are also relevant for blue carbon. So we heard about the science and the ecosystems themselves in the previous speaker, and I'll just touch on a little bit on the types of projects. I think that when many of us hear blue carbon, we naturally think about carbon markets, and that is certainly one type of project, but not the only type. And so there's a number of non-carbon market types of projects that could be supportive of blue carbon ecosystems and their many ecosystem service benefits. And some of those types could be ecosystem insurance, mangrove positive, micro and small scale enterprises, or outcome-based financing models. Those are just a few, and there'll be a longer table that will be harder to read in a moment. But I wanted to show this slide first, just to be able to show that we are talking about the full toolbox set of different blue carbon financing approaches. So that's including carbon markets and non-carbon markets, but could be combined in some cases or standalone in others. All of those types of projects and types of financing opportunities are rooted in what is most relevant at the local level and at the national level. And so what works in Taiwan might be different than what we would see here in Brazil. And I think that point is really important for us as a global community to really work together as we were talking about partnerships and having that shared responsibility. Having different types of projects that work at the local level and that can really bring financing to local communities, to the fishing communities, to the conservation activities is very important. So this is the table that I mentioned that will be very difficult to read, but I have a QR code on the next slide that you can download a report to look at this in more detail. But this is just a snippet of a table that from a report that we recently produced, that RARE and Conservation International produced around blue carbon action beyond carbon markets. What we wanted to do was to highlight that many of the actions that are needed. Many of the actions that are needed are the same. And so the different types of enabling conditions are really critical for any of the types of projects that are being developed. And so many of the groundwork that's needed, which we heard about in the previous keynote, includes things like engaging communities, working with communities and fishing associations and local associations at the outset. Sorry about that. Is this better? Okay, great. Yeah, so I was just sharing that there are, this report covers a number of enabling conditions that are critical for the development of a blue carbon project. And the examples that are listed here are all non-carbon market approaches to show the variety of types of projects that could be explored depending on the national and local context. Some of the examples that we have here are things like I mentioned insurance, biodiversity credits, impact bonds, results-based payments, and a number of other examples. And each of these might have different criteria and different policies that would be most relevant for the success of that particular project. And so I think that one of the reasons why I have this on this not all that beautiful slide on the slide here is because I really want to think beyond and reimagine what the power of blue carbon projects are, the power of coastal nature-based solutions are. And by seeing what the variety of options are to develop a project can be really helpful when exploring what the financing solutions could be. So some of the examples that we have, actually I think that I don't have this next slide as I originally thought, but I'll give one example of a project here in Brazil that we're supporting. Is with a micro and small scale enterprise in developing a crab processing facility where the local association is really leading the charge, and RARE and others are coming in to support the development of this. This connects small scale fishers and processing with sustainable resource management. So the last thing that I'll mention here is that for all of these different types of projects, it is critical to have them all done in a way that can be considered high quality and that has high environmental and social integrity. But what does that actually look like in practice? The slide here shows that there's a few efforts to be able to develop what the principles around the high quality blue carbon projects are. On the next slide, there'll be the QR code to access the principles and the practitioner's guide. But ultimately, what the principles are showing is that there are common practices and common standards to ensure that there's a comparable, transparent, and equitable approach for developing blue carbon projects, whatever the type may be. And so thank you again for having me, and please take a photo of the QR codes if you'd like to download any of the reports mentioned, and I look forward to the rest of the panel.
Thank you, Lisa, for your thoughtful sharing, and I want to keep the slide for a while, like let the attendees to scan the QR code for a while, and thank you, Lisa, to broaden our discussion from a regional scale to the global framework, how the current discussion about how to achieve the blue carbon future and how we can do to make sure that we follow the critical principle to make this happen. And next one, I want to share. I want to give the floor to our third panelist, as Stephanie Scudo-Kurz. She is the regional coordinator for energy transition and climate change at U4 Energy. And Stephanie is currently a law school student specializing in sustainability and environmental government. And she is also coordinates the university network and working with youth leaders across Peru and Colombia to advance sustainability education and social innovation. And so let's welcome Stephanie. Stephanie. Okay. On the moment, I want to share more detail about Stephanie. Like Stephanie, when I noticed Stephanie, it's like because I'm preparing to introduce Stephanie, and I found her writing had already he had keep tracking on COP conference or party for a long time. I found her first article is on COP30. Which means that Stephanie had already following the discussion on the climate governance, specialized in ocean and blue carbon from several years ago. So let's welcome Stephanie.
Thank you. Mi inglés no es tan bueno. Ahora les voy a platicar un poco en español lento. ¿Sí entienden español? ¿Sí entienden español? Entonces, ok. Sí, yo creo que sí. Okay. Thank you. Hoy vamos a hablar un poco de la transición energética y el rol de las comunidades. Desde Youth for Energy somos una organización que trabaja con jóvenes y impulsa toda la transición desde América Latina y el Caribe. Nosotros venimos trabajando en México, Colombia, Perú, Brasil, Chile, República Dominicana, Panamá, entre otros. Y para esto hay que tener en cuenta cuántas personas de aquí forman parte de una comunidad o se sienten parte de una comunidad. Creo que es la gran mayoría. Perfecto. Y también sabemos que los puertos a lo largo del tiempo generan gran parte de emisiones. El comercio marítimo mundial también forma parte del 80% de las emisiones de GHG. En ese sentido, lo agarré al revés. Ok. Ahora sí. Entonces hay que tener en cuenta cómo la transición energética y cuál es la visión de la transición energética. Esta tiene diversas dimensiones. Desde la parte social, la parte tecnológica, la parte política, la parte económica y la parte cultural. Sin ninguna de ellas no podemos avanzar. Y nuestro proyecto de descarbonización de puertos ha ido escalando desde lo más bajo hasta lo más alto. Aquí es muy importante que en América Latina nosotros hemos venido impulsando cómo la política o los proyectos de energía deben de pasar por un proceso de consulta. No puede haber un proyecto de energía sin pasar por un proceso de consulta, donde las comunidades puedan avanzar y dar su voz y voto también. Cada uno de ustedes puede formar parte de esa política para ver en qué mejorar, a dónde podemos avanzar con la política, con los proyectos y cómo queremos innovar. Cada uno de ustedes puede formar parte de diversos proyectos a nivel regional, desde su comunidad o desde la parte de ministerio que puedan trabajar algunos. Así es como nace esta visión de justicia desde la energía, porque ya sabemos lo que es la justicia ambiental, la justicia climática, pero también hay que tomar en cuenta qué es la justicia desde la energía. Entonces, aquí venía nuestra visión desde los océanos.
Para eso, aquí les presento el proyecto de descarbonización de puertos de Manzanillo en México. Y este puerto es uno de los mayores emisores de carbono a nivel regional o a nivel latinoamericano. En este contexto, nosotros, como Youth for Energy, junto a otras organizaciones como BBF, Climate World Foundation, la Sermanat, que es la Secretaría de Medio Ambiente de México, entre otras, nos pusimos a trabajar desde muy poquito, entendiendo cómo las comunidades sufrían cada uno de los impactos de del impacto de la carbonización y de los GEI. Entonces, aquí les traigo unos datos de cómo es que se fue avanzando este proyecto y cómo generamos este cuadernillo de descarbonización, que todos lo pueden encontrar en las redes y lo pueden impulsar desde sus puertos. Para ello tenemos que tener en cuenta que la flota nacional en México era aproximadamente de 1.5 millones metano de consumo de biocombustibles. Esto nos ayuda a ver cuál era el potencial que avanzábamos en cuanto a los GI y el impacto de contaminación al ambiente. También es que esta flota pues generaba alrededor de 11.178 y hasta 400 fuentes de gases de efecto. Para ello también hay que tener en cuenta que estos tenían como equipo de manejo de carga de terminales portuarios, las grúas y las montañas, que también forman otra parte de impacto. O sea, si sumamos todo esto, pues ya nos damos cuenta que los gases y la forma de contaminación es mucho más elevada a lo que muchas veces tenemos en límites máximos permisibles. Para eso también hicimos un avance en cuanto a temas de salud y muchas personas habían sufrido y sufren en Manzanillo cáncer a la piel, producto de esta contaminación. También hay temas de que muchas personas de la comunidad de Manzanillo tienen minerales en la sangre, desde plomo, litio, etc. Y cómo también vamos alterando el medio marino. Los puertos y la contaminación altera el todo de las macroalgas, de las microalgas, etc. Entonces ahí vamos viendo cómo es que nosotros, desde nuestro comercio, también impactamos a diversas partes de los ecosistemas. Aquí algunas datas y las medidas de propuestas que nosotros desarrollamos en nuestro cuadernillo de descarbonización es facilitar la innovación en los puertos, también era facilitar las operaciones en los puertos simultáneos. ¿Esto qué quiere decir? Si un barco o un buque que vaya a llegar no tenga la capacidad para poder llegar al buque, o puede que haya otro que puede tener mucho menos impacto, entonces lo que vamos a generar es que vayan al otro buque. Esto no quiere decir que haya más contaminación, porque simplemente vamos a pasar de una etapa a otra. Seguro hay la mejora en la planificación de los buques. Esto también se venía impulsando desde América Latina y actualmente la OMI con la OMC están entrando en contacto para ver cuánto iba a ser un impuesto al metano, o cuánto era $5 por cada tonelada de carbono. ¿Qué vendríamos a hacer o vendríamos a ver quizás cómo esto impacta en el comercio internacional? América Latina sí puede tener muchos puertos y todo, pero también tenemos que ver cuánto de biodiversidad tenemos y a dónde queremos ir con esta forma de conservación. Luego tenemos que habilitar la optimización del peso del puerto, del barco, para poder generar. Actualmente ya venimos desarrollando el tema del hidrógeno verde, que si bien Chile es uno de los países que tiene mucho más avanzado, vamos y está desarrollando una política tanto en Perú, México también ya está desarrollando, y de hecho en las actuales NDC que se están presentando en la zona azul ya se está hablando del tema de descarbonización portuaria, y también se está incluyendo en las NDCs como la de México, como la de Chile y como la de Perú. Entonces, facilitar el tema de la limpieza del casco y todo lo demás ayudan a generar menos emisiones, a una menos contaminación, pero también a cuidar la biodiversidad. Nosotros trabajamos junto al ODS 9, que vendría a ser el cuidado de la industria, al ODS 13, que es de cuidado para el clima, y al ODS 14, que es el cuidado de la vida y la biodiversidad marina. Y así es como tenemos que ver a lo largo cuáles son las oportunidades de mejora, a dónde queremos llegar. Desde nosotros vemos que la integración también de los pueblos indígenas, porque el puerto de Manzanillo forma parte de estas comunidades. Hay muchas personas que no tienen voz y voto y solo nosotros somos portadores de ellos para poder generar unos mejores proyectos de inversión. Si bien vamos a avanzar en economía, esta economía debe ir de la mano con todo lo que es la conservación de la vida marina, pero sobre todo de la salud y el ambiente de cada uno de nosotros. Porque si no tomamos acción nosotros, el día de mañana no vamos a sufrir las consecuencias del cambio climático cada día peor. Y eso sería todo. Muchas gracias.
thank you, Stephanie, for your sharing. And all the time I'm pretending I understand Spanish, but I still can understand something from the presentation. Because I'm also working in energy policy, and I know that energy policy and energy transition is very integrate with the discussion with maritime. Because every like offshore wind turbines or like anything related to the port-related carbon emission, it's all related to the efforts why we have to keep moving on like ecosystem conservation and also like care more about our spatial management. So next on, I will go into introduce our fourth panelist, who is Song Min. Song Min is from Taiwan, and he has been selected as a youth delegate from Taiwan, and he's currently a master student in NCCU, and he studied in spatial management, and also like he's currently put much effort in spatial management and to combine Taiwanese solar panels implement and energy transition. So let's welcome Min.
Okay, good morning everyone, and first I want to thank Dr. Lu and Lisa, your inspiring sharing, and I'm also pretending that I know Spanish, but I think I can know something on Stephanie's slides. And I don't have slides, so today I want to just give you some sharing and experience from local, I mean local in Taiwan, some local experience and local perspectives from Taiwan. And before I start, I want to introduce myself first. And I'm a master student in Taiwan, and what I do or my research is about spatial planning. And I think Dr. Lu is also an expert in spatial planning. So maybe she will talk more about this with us. And today I want to share from the point of view of a young people who is still learning in spatial planning. The first part I want to share is about distance, because I think I grew up in Taiwan, and I feel the physical distance is not so far between I and the ocean. But I mean the physical distance is not so far, but the mental distance is quite far to for Taiwanese youth, I think. My hometown is a coastal town in Taiwan, and although even live in Taipei, it only take about 30 minutes to ocean or to the sea. So the mental distance is quite far than our physical distance, and I feel that this made me, we have no information, we have no thoughts about ocean. And the elder always told us the ocean is dangerous, the sea is dangerous, the water, even the river is dangerous. So I think the distance between I and the ocean, or I and the river, I and the water is quite far. So I know nothing about the ocean. Then when I try to do something or do some research about ocean, like our moderator Yan told, I'm a student in spatial planning. What we want to do is planning the spatial. So when we want to plan the ocean, I have no idea. So I think this is quite difficult for me, and although for most of Taiwanese youth. And this is the first part I want to share. And the second part is follow. The first part is about the land spatial planning, but I mean the land is include the land and the ocean. Yeah. So, and I think that's territory. And we call our work is spatial planning, and just as I said, include land. But in our current spatial plans, the ocean is only roughly shown as a marine resources area in our Spatial Planning Act. So I think that is too rough and too difficult to plan. And this is the second part I want to share about. We have, I think we need to have much understand of the ocean planning. And when I look at countries like Netherlands, which have marine spatial planning, I really hope that one day we can also reach the level. We can also have our own spatial planning. So maybe I can discuss it more with Dr. Lu, with Lisa, with Stephanie, with all the experts in the ocean. So this is my brief sharing for now. So I think this is the end for now. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you for me sharing. And next time, I want to invite all the panelists on the sitting on the stage, and we are going to have the Q&A session. And so let's arrange the seat to the stage. And during the arrangement, I want to raise some questions from me to each of the panelists, like. And the first question I want to raise to our keynote speaker, Dr. Lu, that because we had already, once we imagine that the government can do anything because they have huge budget, they have many staff or officer can do everything. But in the previous interview with Dr. Lu, we found that ocean conservation administration is quite small. They have only 78 persons in the organization, so the government can do is quite little. So I'm wondering, like, what's the major difficulty OAC had already faced in pushing or boosting this kind of like advocacy? And I want to ask another question to Lisa and Stephanie, as you have been a long-term observation and advocate to persuading government or community, local community to doing something to increase the biodiversity or something like that. I'm wondering, like, what's your key message you want to say to the government? Like, what's the most critical thing to do now to achieve the 2050 goal? And the third question I want to go to, as the youth delegation, what is your suggestion to the government, and also how to integrate the academic discussion, the local people, and the government sector? Like, how do you think that youth opinion should be here, or how could it be implemented? Yeah. Let's give a microphone to the first panelist.
Thanks a lot for your question. I think budget and manpower is always the problem for us, but I think that's why we come to this place. That's why we're trying to work as a network with lots of people. So I think for no matter what kind of central government or local government, we need to have the platform with the NGOs, with local communities, and definitely with the school and with the enterprise, with business. So for instance, for government, we cannot have unlimited budget. So we need to work with business, with enterprise. So they also have their own responsibility on the environment, and lots of people working on a very good job on the environment. So I think that is one way. And also for the case we show on the seagrass, we cannot monitor it by ourselves. So we need to work with the local communities and local schools. So they have the manpower to do the site survey, to do the documentation. So I think even though we have the very less manpower and the budget, I think work as a group, as a network, can make the job done.
So yes, thank you. I would say that for RARE, we ensure that all of our projects and the way that we work in any of the geographies is that the nature-based solution projects that we work on and work towards with our partners at the local and national level are all community-led and community-managed. And we ensure that at the outset. So we want to make sure that we're engaging with all of our local partners, again, the fisheries associations, the local communities, at the design stage, so that way any project is really community developed and community managed and community led. One example that I'll share of what we would share with governments is that engaging across levels through partnerships is critical. So where we are currently serving as the secretariat of a network called Coastal 500, which is a global network of coastal mayors, being able to ensure that we are engaging at the local government level, as well as for civil society and across the national level. And so being able to work across partnerships, will work at a community level to ensure that the finance from the projects is driven to the places that are in most need.
Yo creo que uno de los problemas más frecuentes en cuanto a juventudes o cómo venimos desarrollando, muchas veces es toparnos con el financiamiento. Cuando vamos a desarrollar un proyecto o cuando queremos ir a tocar puertas de cómo queremos desarrollar nuestra idea, el financiamiento viene a ser uno de los grandes obstáculos. Creo yo que aquí, en cuanto a lo que vayamos a desarrollar, a veces en un grant, si queremos postular, viene el tema de cuál va a ser las métricas que nos van a pedir, cuáles son los temas de presupuestos, etcétera. Y cuando son juventudes es mucho más complicado, porque no a veces tenemos todo jurídicamente pues en papeles. Entonces eso pasa por un proceso, nos lleva tiempo, nos lleva costos. Hablar con las comunidades para nosotros es mucho más práctico, porque nosotros estamos desde el pueblo, estamos constantemente viendo qué es lo que nos falta. Formamos parte de las voces de nuestras comunidades. Nosotros solo traemos aquí la visión, la postura de ellos, porque no todos podemos acceder a este tipo de espacios. Eso justo me preguntaba un poco en la parte azul de la COP30, qué tan equitativo puede ser esto, qué tanto pueden ser las negociaciones. Me toca ser negociadora climática por Perú y eso está pues chévere, pero a la vez no tan chévere, porque entonces no tenemos todos el mismo impacto que queremos. Cuando nos toca ver ya a fondo el proyecto, muchas veces no tenemos las mismas métricas que vendría a ser una empresa grande. Y creo que ese es uno de los mayores impactos. En el tema de investigación, siempre se nos abren las puertas como jóvenes, podemos acceder a becas, podemos acceder a miles de fondos, pero para accionar un proyecto como tal de esta magnitud, sí nos tocó ir a puertas como BBF, nos tocó ir con otros gobiernos, nos tocó ir a hablar con la misma OMI, con la OMC, organismos multilaterales, organismos ya a nivel global, que puedan ayudarnos con todo el proyecto a la par. Y gracias a ello es que ahora tenemos en México una política de descarbonización de puertos que también se viene impulsando desde Perú. Entonces los invito a todos a seguir la lucha, a ver desde cómo pueden cambiar ese tema, porque pues es complicado, pero no es imposible, ¿saben? Y eso sería todo de mí. Gracias.
Gracias. I'm pretending I understand it. So, gracias. So, next one, I want to invite Min to share his.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your question, and I think my answer can divide it to two parts. The first part is, as a youth in Taiwan, I think I hope that our government, our school can teach us more about ocean, about marine, and even from elementary school, from high school, we can know more about that, and we can stay closer with our sea. Yeah, I think that is as a youth in Taiwan. And as a student in spatial planning, I think maybe we can try to discuss the, I just mentioned that marine spatial planning, and when I first time to know this concept is from Netherlands, because they are trying to discuss their offshore wind power. So I have a question for Dr. Lu. Yeah, and this is question. The first question is, do you think it's time to discuss the marine spatial planning in Taiwan, or you think, because I think you are a marine expert and I think you are also a spatial planning expert, so this is the best question for you. do you think is the best time, or do you think it's time to discuss the marine spatial planning in Taiwan? This is the first question. And the second question is about offshore wind power, because I think Stephanie also mentioned that in her slides. Yeah, and do you think you are from Ocean Conservation Administration, and what do you think about the offshore wind power and the relationship between the ocean conservation and the energy? What do you think about that?
I think we need another hour to discuss this. I think simply the first question, definitely we need to talk about the marine spatial planning. And right now it's a draft from Ocean Affairs Council. So they will have the final version, I think, probably in the following few years. So I think that's really the time we need to discuss this. And the second one is about the renewable energy and the conservation. I think that's always the dilemma and always the issues we need to talk about. So from the blue zone and the green zone, I saw lots of issues talking about this. So I think there is, I don't want to say win-win, but there is a negotiable situation. So we need to talk about this in terms of the energy aspect, in terms of the ecology aspect, in terms of the spatial planning aspect. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for me question and also Dr. Lu's response. And as we know that the panelists have already bring out that the issue is so contemplated in integrated energy transition, renewable energy, offshore wind, spatial management, and also like the most important in our panelists is blue carbon economy ecosystem. So we will find out that issue is all integrated and entangled together. And now we have like about 2 minutes for questions from the audience, and as everybody have already noted that Dr. Lu prepared lots of gifts to spread it out, and so maybe if I want to ask, is there anyone want to ask? Okay.
Hi, I want to ask Lisa, because you just I'm Win Chang from Delta Electronic Foundation based in Taiwan and Thailand, and we are curious about the non-carbon mechanism. For this COP, because they are talking about the GGA, global adaptation. Is there any relative to this, like the impact bond, resilience credit, even biodiversity credit?
Yeah, thank you for the question. And it's certainly a timely one. So the short answer is yes, as it's possible to be part of the Article 6.8 under the non-market approaches. Some of the examples that I mentioned could be eligible for a non-market approach under the convention. But that said, it might not be. Some of them might be able to be engaged and active now. And so, in terms of the mechanism, some could certainly engage in that way. But others could be using the existing methodologies or national methodologies to build out the non-market approaches and to define what those metrics would be, as you said, for an outcome-based financing approach. And that could be at a national or project level that is based off of the methodologies that are developed.
Okay. Due to the time limitation, so I have to close the panel currently. And thank you all to join us here to discussing about maritime like ecosystem, blue carbon, footprint, and also the energy transition. And I hope this discussion will not end just in the pavilion. It will go beyond this room and move to your daily life and the collaboration between governments, local community, and everywhere. And the last but not least, I want to give the floor to Dr. Lu to introduce the rule, how to everybody are interested in how to get the gift from Taiwan, like the maritime gift here. Yes. Okay, I just know Dr. Lu just told me that everyone here in the pavilion had the right to choose the president. And I will let Patrice to help me translation into Portuguese. Okay, and like so like, but what?
Seated first.
Seated. Oh.
Seated.
Oh, okay. Okay. The attendee who is sitting on the seat will have the priority to choose the gift first, and then the standing one will be the second round. And but because we have limited space, so please so play take turns and help us like keep in pressure like.
Devagar fazendo a fila, por favor. Quem tem... Ele pediu com educação. Quem tiver um pouco de prioridade, por favor, tomar cuidado com os mais idosos. Fazer uma fila vagarosamente, com ordem. Eita, Brasil!
And this gift is given by Dr. Lu, who brought a full suitcase from Taiwan to Berlin, which traveled about 14,000 kilometers from here to here. Like it had about 3 to 4 flights, and like take about 35 hours.